Well, we're back at Pyramid Lake. It's mid-October now, with dreams of big fish. Water's still staying fairly warm, so should be conducive. But the winds are a little bit brisk, so we got to fight a north wind. So we're going to head north and see if we can find some fish up there and get out of the wind a little bit. A north wind coming out of the launch is not a problem until you get around the corner, and then you can see the white caps in the distance.
Only 9-mile-an-hour winds today, so that's gonna be so much better.
At 15?
Than 15, yeah. Steady 11. It's coming in a little bit to the bay. A little bit of chop out there. See how that goes.
Up to the Fox Bay area, and it wasn't too long before we got into some quality fish. When I get into a new area, I usually troll first to see if we have any concentrations of fish or any areas where they're congregating and might be able to jig them, which is usually a more productive technique, but the trolling gives you an idea where they are. We're using rotary dodgers, and I've been using flatfish this month. Just they seem to be working pretty well. Try different stuff if you're not picking them up. Tried Tasmanian too, and got some fish with that as well. Well, as the winds decreased a bit, we moved over to the Needles area to try that out, see if there were any fish there, and yes, there were. Wizard Island and the Needles is another area that has some issues for the tribe. They want you to stay 1,000 feet away. There's been some vandalism in that area. Used to be there's a geyser, and there used to be a spring that people could come in and swim, but people abused that right, and now you can't do it anymore. This was an old school frog colored flatfish, even had little dumbbells on it as the attachment. Well, the wind persisted out of the north, but luckily we had picked a good spot and it was over the top of us, so it was fishable all day. Tomorrow the winds are going to change up a bit, maybe start out of the north and then come in from the east and maybe a little bit of the south. So we're going to change the areas that we fish in to correspond to where the favorable wind conditions will be. Ran the temperature probe just to see if it had changed any. It was same as it was last week, 64s in the surface, and then it was pretty much the same temperature all the way down till you get into about 70 feet is the thermocline still. And at the thermocline it's only 59, and then it gets down to 75 and 80 feet before it gets to 54 degrees where the trout like it. Tried fishing Anaho first thing in the morning, but didn't find the bait that we had seen the week before and didn't get anything too aggressive. So we moved over to Dago Bay and we found the birds and found a lot of fish in the water. And they weren't real cooperative, but we did get a few bites. Wind had come up out of the south and east, and so this was a good spot. We were under the wind and fish were cooperating to an extent. The wind calmed down again, and so we decided we would head north, see if the fishing was any better up towards Hell's Kitchen area. So we got to a spot just below Hell's Kitchen, that tall wall, and we found the algae pretty thick in there.
So you can see, here's the algae that's built up in here from the summer, and there's the break line, clear water to algae line. We're going to try to fish that break line and see what happens.
Well, the break line didn't produce, but we continued on south and found some cleaner water, and finally found an area that we could jig. Decided to come back in the next day in the morning and see if we could hit some fish again.
I don't have it ready yet. Okay. A little bit more light. This is a pretty good fish.
10-pounder.
Gotta be.
Gary.
Gary 10. Oh no, ooey gooey. Huge ooey gooey. That is. Oh, now I can't. Now he's even got the ooey gooey rights. I cannot believe Tweet Chub his. Now nothing is sacred. Nothing is sacred for me anymore. Tweet Chub, that's a big one too. That's a nice size. That'd be a lunch for somebody. Good taco. There we go.
Well, the algae was still pretty thick in here. We were getting some fish, but the winds were coming up, and so we decided to head towards the west side and see what we could do over there, maybe get some cleaner water.
You're a maniac. Net cam up.
Well, we made it to the west side and got out underneath the wind again. So it was very fishable, deep water that went into a beach area, and that proved to have fish holding on it. We could only fish it for a couple hours because we were headed home at noon, but did very well in that spot.
Oh my goodness. So many more fish than
Well, that's a nice fish.
more than I've caught trout I've caught today.
There you go.
Yeah, see? Head camp.
It worked out pretty good.
Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah, that's a nice one. Doubles.
Doubles.
Both on my line. Now we got to go through arbitration.
Well, a great way to end another great trip to Pyramid Lake. Finally got a fish worth weighing. I've got a sling weighing system that I'm trying to get a process going for, so I can release these big fish back without damaging them. So that was fun to try out. We got him back in the lake, and he seemed happy and swam away, and I think he'll live to fight another day. Hope you like this. If you did, please like and subscribe. It really means a lot to me. And tight lines.